If you still think crypto is just Bitcoin and Ethereum, you've already missed the plot. This isn't just about price charts or token swaps or watching candles flicker on a Binance screen. It's not about chasing pumps or praying for green days. Crypto, or more precisely blockchain,
Oh, I know all about blockchain.
has quietly slipped beneath the surface of industries you interact with every day, and it's starting to rewrite their source code from the ground up. We're not talking about theoretical disruption anymore. We're talking real infrastructure, the invisible systems that move your groceries from farms to shelves, that store your health records across clinics and borders, and determine who you are online and how you prove it. Crypto has moved far beyond finance. It's become the underlying logic layer for trust, identity, coordination, and ownership in the digital age.
Satellites, crypto, whatever.
Welcome to the Swap Space channel. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to show you how blockchain is reshaping everything from food safety to public records, from online gaming to government services. No fluff, no buzzwords, just a closer look at the quiet, radical infrastructure shift happening right under our noses, block by block. Now let's throw out the tech lingo for a second. Blockchain isn't magic. It's not some futuristic black box only coders can understand. At its core, blockchain is basically a digital notebook, but not just any notebook. Imagine one where every page is duplicated across thousands of computers all over the world. Everyone can read it, but no one can rip out a page. And once something is written down, it's there forever, sealed with digital ink.
It's kind of complicated.
That notebook isn't stored in some government vault or a corporate server. It lives in a decentralized network where no single person, company, or country holds the keys. There's no CEO of blockchain, no off switch, no quiet edits behind closed doors. It's transparent, meaning every transaction, every update, and every action is public, time-stamped, and traceable. And it's secure by design.
Until we know who's to blame.
The data is locked in with cryptographic algorithms, which basically means the cost of tampering is so high in energy, in time, in computing power, that it becomes not just difficult, but practically impossible.
Impossible?
Nothing's impossible.
So why should you care? Because in a world drowning in misinformation, manipulated records, and shadowy middlemen, blockchain is just one of the few systems that doesn't just promise trust, it builds it in. No vague guarantees, no trust us fine print.
Trust?
Trust.
Just provable, verifiable truth. Now, whether it's a financial transaction, a supply chain record, or a medical file, blockchain doesn't just say something happened, it shows you the proof. And once you have that kind of infrastructure under the hood, it changes everything that runs on top of it.
Now I see it. Now I see it.
In crypto, security isn't just a nice to have, it's the bedrock. The whole point of blockchain is that you don't have to trust any single person because the system itself is designed to be unbreakable. But that security doesn't come out of nowhere. It has to be earned. And two main systems, proof of work and proof of stake, are how blockchains do it. Let's start with proof of work, the original heavyweight champ. This is the method Bitcoin runs on, and it's kind of like a digital arm wrestling match. Miners around the world compete to solve insanely complex mathematical puzzles using massive amounts of computing power. It's not about brains, it's about brute force. The first miner to crack the code gets to add the next block of transactions to the chain, and they earn a reward for doing it. That's their prize. But here's the kicker. This system is intentionally hard and energy hungry. You can't fake the work. You can't cheat the puzzle. The cost of lying is too high, and you'd have to rewrite not just one block, but the entire chain behind it faster than the rest of the world combined. And that's not just hard, it's virtually impossible.
You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
Now, flip the page to proof of stake, a newer, sleeker method adopted by Ethereum 2.0 and a growing list of modern blockchains. This one ditches the mining rigs and the environmental toll. Instead of burning electricity, validators stake their crypto, lock it up as collateral to earn the right to verify transactions.
Money makes some money.
The network picks validators based on how much they've staked and how long they've been doing it. If you play a fair game, you get rewarded, and if you try to mess with the system, you lose your stake. It's economic security, not physical. Less power hungry, more scalable, and that's a whole lot more sustainable in the long run.
Saving the planet.
These aren't just different flavors of consensus. They're fundamentally different philosophies about how to build trust in a trustless world. One says, prove it with effort, and the other says, prove it with a skin in the game. But both aim for the same result. A network where you don't need to trust anyone because the system makes cheating too expensive to be worth it.
Now that's much too expensive.
Ever scanned a QR code on your food package and thought, okay, cool. Maybe it told you the brand of the farm name, maybe it linked to a video of smiling farmers. Now imagine scanning that same code and getting a full tamper-proof story.
Wow, that's a lot.
Where your strawberries were grown, where they were harvested, how long they sat in the warehouse, and what route the truck took to get them to your city, and whether they were kept at the right temperature the whole day. That's not sci-fi, that's blockchain applied to supply chain. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Modern supply chains are incredibly fragile and messy. They're built on spreadsheets, emails, and siloed databases, and an insane amount of blind trust between companies who often don't even speak the same digital language. That's why counterfeit goods slip through. That's why product recalls are so slow and expensive, and that's why foodborne illness outbreaks take weeks to trace back to the source, if they ever get traced at all. Blockchain doesn't just patch the system, it replaces the whole nervous system. Every step in the journey from farm to factory to freight gets recorded immutably on-chain. No single company owns the data. Everyone, suppliers, retailers, regulators, even you as a consumer can access the same record. You're not hoping it's true, you're seeing the proof. Companies like IBM and Maersk aren't experimenting with this anymore. They're actually deploying it at scale. IBM's food trust system already works with big names like Walmart to track everything from lettuce to seafood. Maersk is using blockchain to streamline global shipping routes, shaving off costs and cutting delays caused by paperwork and miscommunication. And the tech doesn't just make things faster, it makes them accountable.
They're all smart now.
And in a world where trust in labels, logos, and claims is at an all-time low, this changes everything. Because the future of buying stuff, whether it's strawberries or sneakers, isn't just did I get what I paid for, it's can I prove it? If you've ever moved to a new city, switched doctors, or God forbid changed countries, you already know the nightmare. Transferring your medical history feels like asking 5 different people to fax you a shoebox full of scribbled notes and missing pages. Half the time, labs don't talk to hospitals, hospitals don't talk to clinics, and no one seems to know if you're allergic to penicillin until it's too late. Your health data gets stuck in fragmented silos, locked behind outdated systems that were probably cutting edge in the 90s. Now picture this instead. A single, secure, blockchain-based health profile that follows you everywhere across borders, across providers, and across time. Your medical history, prescriptions, imaging, test results, all encrypted but instantly accessible when you need it. And here's the kicker, you control who sees it, not the hospital, not the insurance company, not some random admin behind a desk, but you. No more delays when you're waiting for critical records to be emailed from one specialist to another. No more repeating the same blood test 3 times because your previous results are unavailable. No more starting from scratch every time you get a new doctor. Just clean, portable, reliable health data that actually helps you get better treatment faster. But blockchain's impact on healthcare doesn't stop at data. It's also saving lives in the fight against counterfeit medication, a multi-billion-dollar industry that's far more dangerous than people realize.
Selling fake medicine to people, tricking them?
Fake drugs don't just waste money, they might waste your life. Blockchain lets pharmacies and hospitals verify that a medication came from the correct manufacturer, was stored under the right conditions, and hasn't been swapped or tampered with along the way. From factory to pharmacy shelf, every step is documented and traceable.
How the fuck you know this? How? Hold on, bro.
This isn't just a minor upgrade, it's not a UX facelift or some efficiency tweak. Healthcare doesn't just need to be better, it needs a hard reset. A system where patients are in control, data flows seamlessly, and trust is built into the infrastructure itself. And quietly, block by block, blockchain is already making the reboot a reality. Now let's talk about one of the most frustrating truths in modern gaming. You can grind for hundreds of hours, master every boss fight, unlock the rarest armor, buy exclusive skins with real money, and still you own nothing.
Wait, what?
Your gear, your progress, your digital trophies, they live on the game's servers under the publisher's control. And if that game goes offline, if your account gets banned, or if the company decides to pull the plug, everything you earned vanishes into thin air. All that time, all that money just gone. Blockchain flips that script entirely. When your in-game assets are tied to NFTs, the non-fungible tokens, they're not just entries in some centralized database anymore. They're tokens on a blockchain, secured, transparent, and fully owned by you. That rare sword, it's yours. That land plot in a virtual world, yours. That custom skin you bought during a limited time event, still yours, even if the game disappears. You can sell it, trade it, lend it out, bring it into a new game or even entire metaverse platforms. But for the first time, digital goods start to behave like physical ones. They hold value, they have scarcity, and they exist independently of the environment where you first get them.
Has extreme sentimental value.
And we're already seeing this shift play out in titles like Axie Infinity, where players earn real income through gameplay, not as a side hustle, but as a part of a functioning in-game economy. Or the Sandbox, where users can buy, build on, and monetize parcels of virtual land. We're talking about actual marketplaces where skins and items aren't just cosmetics, they're assets. And those assets can be used, rented, or flipped the same way you would with property or collectibles. And make no mistake, this is just the tutorial level. Imagine a future where your in-game gear is interoperable between games, where your MMO sword becomes a relic in a dungeon crawler, or your racing car gets ported into a completely different platform. Interoperability is still clunky, but the foundation is being laid. And as more studios embrace Web3 infrastructure, players will gain more control, more freedom, and more value for their digital lives. For gamers, it's not just about ownership. It's about finally being treated like a participant in the economy, not just a consumer in someone else's sandbox. Blockchain didn't just open the door, it broke the lock.
I matter!
Getting into real estate has always meant jumping through hoops. Stacks of paperwork, lawyers on retainer, slow-moving banks, and enough fees to make your head spin. It's a system built for the well-connected, the well-funded, and the endlessly patient. But blockchain doesn't care about gatekeepers. With tokenized real estate, property can be broken down into digital shares, each token representing a slice of the ownership. You don't need to buy an entire building, you can own a fraction of it.
Yes, fractions.
You can earn rental income, and whenever you're ready, you can sell your share instantly on a blockchain marketplace. No brokers, no delays, just a wallet and a click. Platforms like Proppy have already shown it's not just possible, it's live. In 2021, they sold an apartment in Ukraine entirely through blockchain. No paper contracts, no waiting on notaries, just code doing what humans usually complicate. It's not a concept anymore, it's not coming soon. Tokenized real estate is here, and it's stripping out the friction one transaction at a time. For decades now, artists, musicians, and writers have been stuck playing someone else's game, signing away rights, watching middlemen take the lion's share, and getting paid last, if at all. The platforms made the rules, the creators did the work. Blockchain flips that script completely.
Someone made an NFT of it.
With NFTs, when used correctly, creators finally own their work in a way that's secure, traceable, and monetizable on their own terms. Smart contracts, the little bits of code baked into each token, handle royalties automatically. That means every time a piece is resold, the creator gets paid instantly. No chasing payments, no forgotten agreements, and the connection between creator and fan, it's direct. No record labels taking a cut, no publishers acting as gatekeepers. You buy a song, a digital painting, or a short story, and you're buying it straight from the person who made it. When Kings of Leon dropped an album as an NFT, it wasn't just a tech flex. It was a warning shot to the industry. The middleman model is breaking. Because in this new system, control isn't given, it's coded in. Now let's be real. Most government record systems are barely holding it together. Birth certificates that live in filing cabinets, land titles that get lost just in time for someone else to claim your property, public services that require you to show up in person with 6 documents and a prayer. The process isn't just slow, it's vulnerable to fraud, bribes, and bureaucratic black holes. Blockchain brings structure to the chaos. In Honduras, for instance, land titles are being moved on-chain to prevent disputes and stop shady land grabs. Estonia, way ahead of the curve, uses blockchain IDs to let citizens vote, access healthcare, and sign documents entirely online, securely, and with a full audit trail. When public records go digital and tamper-proof, you don't just get convenience, you get integrity, less corruption, faster services, and real accountability. And this isn't some far-off vision. It's already happening, quietly, efficiently, in places that got tired of waiting for the old systems to catch up. And the next stop? The places where the system is broken by design. Financial inclusion is first. Over 1.7 billion people still don't have access to basic banking. No account, no credit history, no chance. But with blockchain, all you need is a smartphone. Suddenly, you're in. You can store your value, get a loan, receive a payment without a bank ever opening its doors to you. Climate action is another thing. Companies can fudge carbon reports on paper, but not on chain. Blockchain lets emissions get tracked in real time. While carbon credits are verified, issued, and traded transparently, it turns ESG from a buzzword into something measurable. And then there's digital sovereignty. As central banks experiment with their own digital currencies and blockchain-based IDs, we're heading toward a future where people own their data, control their identity, and interact with the state on their own terms. And this isn't just an upgrade, it's a full teardown and rebuild, from a world that assumes trust can be faked to one where it has to be proven. Crypto is not just finance, it's infrastructure. Crypto may have started as digital money, a new kind of cash, but that's just the beginning. It's becoming the framework for how we prove who we are, how we trace where things come from, and how we own what's ours and how we share data without giving it all away. It's fixing the parts of society that were never built for the internet and making sure we don't just patch them up with duct tape. Bitcoin lit the fuse, blockchain's laying the bricks. So now the question is, what's your part in all of this? Because the shift isn't coming, it's here. And it's not waiting for you to catch up. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, click like and subscribe for more.